Okay, let's unpack this. Electric car ownership in Milan absolutely exploded. We're talking 352% growth between 2020 and 2023.
Wow. Yeah,
Well,
when you see a jump like that, 352%, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
it really does. What does that actually mean for the city, for the people living there?
Well, what's fascinating, I think, isn't just the percentage itself, but the sheer momentum it represents. A
Right.
tripling and then some in just 3 years. That suggests a pretty fundamental shift in how people are approaching, personal transport in Milan.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're diving into today. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive. We're here to pull out the crucial insights from the information you need to know.
And today, yeah, we're taking a really close look at electric and hybrid vehicles in Milan. We've got some compelling data, mainly from a Calpurnia News report.
Understanding these rapid changes in a major city like Milan, well, it gives us a valuable window, doesn't it?
Absolutely. A window into the broader transition towards more sustainable urban mobility, not just in Italy, but potentially across Europe and beyond.
Right. So our mission today is pretty straightforward. Get a clear picture of the trends, what kinds of green vehicles are really taking off in Milan.
And the infrastructure, too. What's supporting this surge?
Exactly. We want to cut through the noise, and really understand what this means for Milan and its residents. And like you said, our main source is that recent data-heavy report from Calpurnia News.
So let's get into the numbers. What are the figures that really paint this picture of transformation in Milan?
Okay, let's do it. Straight from Calpurnia News. We mentioned the electric vehicles. They jumped from about 2,145 in 2020.
Just over 2,000.
Yeah, to almost 9,700, not 9,696 to be exact by the end of 2023. That's a huge leap.
Undeniably. But it's not the whole story, is it? Hybrids are crucial here, too.
Definitely. The growth in hybrids is also a massive part of this. In 2021, Milan had nearly 40,000 hybrids.
40,000, okay.
And by early 2024, that figure had almost doubled. We're talking approximately 77,000.
Wow, so nearly doubled. That's significant. It shows it's not just one type of green vehicle catching on.
Exactly. It feels like a two-pronged approach, suggesting, different needs, maybe different price points are being met.
That parallel growth is really notable. It suggests a diverse range of consumers are finding different ways into electrification, right?
Yeah.
Based on their usage, their budget, maybe just what tech they prefer.
But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Despite this huge influx of EVs and hybrids,
Yeah.
the total number of cars registered in Milan, it stayed remarkably stable.
Stable, really, with all those new green cars.
Yeah, around 688,000 in 2020 and hovering around 699,000 at the end of 2024. So a slight increase even.
Huh. So these new green vehicles aren't just replacing older cars one for one then. The total car count isn't dropping.
Doesn't look like it. It seems the adoption is driven more by, well, new purchases or people shifting preference when they do replace an old car.
That has big implications, doesn't it, for things like traffic congestion, parking?
Absolutely. It's a crucial point. It suggests that even as individual choices get greener, the systemic challenges of just having a lot of cars in a dense city, they persist.
Right. Greener cars, but still lots of cars.
So what about the traditional cars?
Mhm.
Petrol, diesel, are they fading away fast?
Well, not entirely. Not yet, anyway. The data shows gasoline cars still make up the majority, around 406,000 of them.
Still the biggest chunk.
Yeah. But we are seeing a definite decline in diesel vehicles, especially the older, more polluting ones.
Right, and that connects directly to things like Area B, doesn't it? That's one of Milan's big low-emission zones.
Exactly. Area B banned the Euro 4 and 5 diesels back in 2022.
So you can really see the policy shaping the fleet there.
Precisely. Those restrictions act as a clear push away from older diesels. But interestingly,
Yeah.
the Calpurnia News report also points to an increase in the more modern Euro 6 gasoline cars.
Ah, okay, so people upgrading their petrol cars too.
Seems like it. These Euro numbers, for anyone unfamiliar, refer to European emission standards. Higher numbers mean cleaner engines. So while the EV and hybrid trend is strong, some people are also just getting newer, cleaner petrol cars to meet the rules. Adds a bit of nuance.
Okay, so more EVs, more hybrids, fewer old diesels, but still a lot of petrol cars, maybe just slightly newer ones. Now, all these EVs need charging. What's the infrastructure situation like in Milan?
Milan's actually doing pretty well there, relatively speaking, within Italy. It ranks second in the country.
Second nationally, okay.
Yeah, with 1,927 public and private charging points available at the end of 2023.
1,900. Sounds like a decent start, but with that kind of EV growth.
Exactly. And the report mentions ambitious plans to expand that significantly.
Okay. What are they aiming for?
The goal is to reach 4,000 charging points.
Double the current number, roughly.
Yeah, across 285 stations, and they're aiming for that within the next 2 years.
That kind of expansion is vital, isn't it, to keep the momentum going?
Absolutely vital. Range anxiety, charging convenience. These are still big factors for potential EV buyers. A bigger, more accessible network tackles those concerns head-on.
Definitely. Makes the switch feel much more practical. Now, the report also mentioned where these greener cars are showing up more, particularly in those restricted zones.
Yes, what's really noteworthy is their growing presence in places like Area B. They now make up about 16% of the daily entries into these zones.
16%, that's quite a chunk.
It is. It's a concrete sign these vehicles are becoming a real part of the mix, especially where older, dirtier cars are restricted.
And that 16% figure really highlights how effective those city policies promoting sustainable mobility can be, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about people wanting to be green. The city's rules, the incentives, they clearly play a huge role in driving these choices.
Preferential access, parking benefits, these can be powerful tools.
Exactly. Powerful tools to nudge consumer behavior towards cleaner transport.
Speaking of choices, the Calpurnia News Report gives us a list of popular models in Milan, both hybrid and electric. Let's maybe start with the hybrid. Seems like quite a mix.
Yeah, and what's insightful here is they often include the WLTP CO2 emissions for each model.
Right, the standardized emissions figure.
And that's super important in Milan because those CO2 numbers directly affect, access to zones like Area C and potential incentives.
Okay, so on the list, we've got the Ford Kuga plug-in hybrid, very low emissions, 22 grams of CO2 per kilometer, noted for power and efficiency.
Plug-in hybrid, yeah, that's a recurring theme.
Then the VW Golf plug-in, the ETSI style, compact, versatile, 28 grams. The Seat Leon e-hybrid, similar platform, good for city driving, 29 grams.
All plug-in so far.
Yep. Peugeot 3008 hybrid Allure, known for comfort, tech, 31 grams. The VW Tiguan plug-in SUV, the EH-Hybrid Life, at 33 grams.
You can see why these plugins are popular, right? Their low CO2 figures often get them better access to those restricted zones compared to, say, traditional hybrids.
That's a really key takeaway. Okay, continuing the list. The Jeep Compass 4xC plug-in, noted for power, 45 grams.
Still plug-in.
Then we get into premium territory. Porsche Panamera 4 e-hybrid, 57 grams, and the Cayenne Coupe e-hybrid at 85 grams. Still plug-in, still lower emissions than purely petrol versions, but higher CO2 than those first few we mentioned.
Yeah, even within the plug-in category, there's a range.
Yeah.
It probably reflects different priorities, performance, luxury versus pure low emissions.
And then there are a couple of really interesting ones at the end of the hybrid list. The Toyota Yaris Cross hybrid, that's a regular hybrid, not plug-in. Compact SUV, efficient, but 100 grams CO2.
Okay, so higher emissions there.
And then the Fiat Panda hybrid, hugely popular city car in Italy, right? But it's a mild hybrid, 118 grams of CO2.
Mild hybrid, yeah, that's an important distinction.
Crucial because the report specifically points out that the Panda hybrid, despite being everywhere, often has to pay the Area C charge. Unlike many of those plugins we listed because its emissions are too high.
That perfectly illustrates how Milan's policies differentiate, doesn't it? Plug-ins with very low CO2 get the benefits, like free access to the center. Mild hybrids, maybe not so much.
Exactly. It really shapes the market. Okay, let's switch gears to fully electric. What models are leading the charge, so to speak, in Milan, according to Calpurnia News?
Well, the growing popularity here is generally down to, better batteries, more range, faster charging, but also design and tech are becoming huge factors.
Right. And leading the pack, maybe not surprisingly, is the Tesla Model 3.
Model 3, yeah.
Known for great range, around 580 kilometer WLTP, the supercharger network, plus the design and tech focus.
Tesla's definitely been a game changer globally, hasn't it? Its strong showing in Milan reflects that appeal, especially to maybe more tech-focused buyers.
Then there's the Nissan Ariya, that's an electric SUV, praised for its modern look, good range, and advanced tech like their ProPilot 2.0 driver assist.
The Ariya represents that trend towards more refined, tech-heavy electric SUVs, aiming for a broader market that wants practicality but also sophistication.
And finally, they mentioned the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the sporty electric SUV that really turned heads.
Yeah, the Mach-E.
Noted for performance, good range, and it's become a bit of a symbol, hasn't it? electric sports mobility.
It really demonstrates that EVs can be exciting, performance-driven.
Yeah.
It challenges perceptions and pulls in people who might not have considered electric before.
So, looking across both the popular hybrids and the EVs in Milan, what are the main takeaways? What's the big picture telling us?
I think the clearest trend is the strong preference for plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars,
Mhm.
specifically those with low or zero tailpipe emissions.
And it's not just about being green, is it?
Not entirely, no. It's heavily influenced by the practical benefits these cars offer in Milan,
Yeah.
especially that free access to restricted zones like Area C.
Right. The report really hammers that home. Those plugins are popular because their low CO2 is like a free pass into Area C.
Whereas mild hybrids like that Fiat Panda, even if they're popular overall, often still face the charge because their emissions aren't low enough.
Exactly. And for the pure EVs, the advantages are even clearer.
Yeah, usually unrestricted access to all the limited zones, often better parking perks, and they're just becoming more appealing generally, thanks to cars like the Model 3, the Aria, the Mach-E.
So, summing it up, Milan is definitely seeing a major boom in electric and hybrid adoption,
No question.
with a clear lean towards plug-in hybrids and low-emission EVs. And it seems strongly linked to people making strategic choices to, well, take advantage of the city's incentives for sustainable mobility.
Precisely. The Calpurnian News data strongly suggests a market that's responding actively, responding to both the tech improvements in the cars themselves and the specific rules Milan has put in place. People are buying cars that fit their needs, but also maximize those benefits.
Okay, so we've looked at the numbers, the rules, the popular cars. It's undeniable Milan's undergoing a huge rapid shift towards electrification.
Driven by that mix of tech, policy, and hopefully growing environmental awareness, too.
What's really compelling is how those factors work together, isn't it?
Yeah, it's synergistic. Not just one thing, but the interplay.
Okay.
Tech makes greener cars better, and policies make owning them more advantageous.
Scott, here's a thought to leave you with. While this growth in EVs and hybrids is great, impressive even,
Hmm.
the total number of cars in Milan hasn't actually gone down. It's stable, maybe even slightly up.
Right, we established that earlier.
So it raises a really important question, doesn't it? What else might be needed to truly shift towards a sustainable mobility system for the city?
Hmm.
We're getting a greener fleet, which is good, but the sheer volume of traffic, of vehicles, that remains a challenge. What else needs to happen?
That's a critical point to end on. It really highlights how complex urban mobility is. Greener tech is vital, absolutely. But addressing the overall volume of vehicles probably needs more, right?
Mm.
Better public transport, promoting cycling, walking, micromobility, maybe smarter urban planning
Mm-hmm.
to reduce the need for so many car trips in the first place. It's likely essential for genuine long-term sustainability.
Absolutely. Well, this deep dive into the Milan data, I think it gives us more than just numbers. It's a valuable snapshot of how urban transport is evolving, how individual choices are changing in a major European city.
And the trends in Milan definitely offer lessons, maybe warnings too, for the wider shift towards cleaner mobility globally.
It really shows it's an ongoing process, doesn't it? Constant adaptation, innovation. There are successes, but clearly still challenges ahead as cities figure this out.
For sure, a continuous journey.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Milan's electric and hybrid vehicle scene. We hope you found it insightful.
And thought-provoking.
If you did, please do give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss our next exploration into the data shaping our world.
We look forward to digging into more fascinating topics with you next time.